What's up, y'all? I'm Trev from Brix Barbecue in Fort Worth, Texas, and today we're making this beautiful rustic style steak sandwich with New Zealand Wagyu ribeyes. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Trev from Brix Barbecue in Fort Worth, Texas, and today we're making a rustic style steak sandwich on the Asado with these beautiful New Zealand Wagyu ribeyes. All right, guys, let's go ahead and hop right in here. Our fire is breaking down behind us, making some beautiful post oak coals, getting that grill nice and toasty for us. First and foremost, we have our New Zealand Wagyu ribeye steaks here. The thing I love about these, if you notice, they have these giant rib caps on them. Anytime I buy a ribeye steak, this is what I look for, okay? You always have the ribeye portion of the steak, which, while still juicy, marbled, delicious, it doesn't quite have the marbling and the flavor that this rib cap does right here, okay? You can see all three of these absolute monsters. Gonna be amazing. Moving on here, we have some rustic style white Italian bread, okay? Pick these up from the local bakery in town in Fort Worth. The thing I like about these, they have a nice crunch on the outside, okay? You can kind of hear that there. But at the same time, you can see on the inside here, I went ahead and tore one open. Has this nice light and airy crumb to it, which will allow us, once we build this sandwich, to kind of press it down and hold everything inside there. Going on here, we made a aioli with some garlic confit and then a bunch of chives. You can see this here. It's really dense and delicious. All that's in here is mayo, some fresh roasted cloves of garlic that I submerged in oil and toasted, a bunch of chopped chives, and then a little bit of lemon juice and a pinch of salt as well. We have, you know, one of my fan favorites here, the Calabrian chili paste. If you like spice, this is the go-to. You can see I don't have much here at all. This is all I'm going to use on this loaf and a half here. Butter and oil for the bread when it comes time to toast that on our asado. What I have here, I like to call counter onions, okay? What this is it's thinly sliced red onion, and then I also went ahead and halved some small San Marzano tomatoes, okay? Nice and sweet. And then what you do is you combine them all in here with some dried Italian herbs, salt, pepper, a little bit of red pepper flakes, a bunch of extra virgin olive oil, really good quality, okay? You're not gonna cook this at all, okay? So you want some really good quality, not bitter stuff. And then I also add in some red wine vinegar and some aged balsamic vinegar as well, just for a touch of sweetness. But really good stuff. You can put this on top of a salad, a sandwich, whatever, even pizza if you want to. All right, I'm gonna put that to the side. And last but not least, my wife made me do this, a little foliage. We're gonna go ahead and top off our sandwich with some baby spring mix here as well. Oh, and how can I forget? Crucolo cheese, okay? This is a semi-hard Italian cheese from the Italian Alps, okay? It is very melty, but it still has kind of that pungentness, if that's a word. It's probably not. That you get with a lot more firmer cheeses, and it's made from cow's milk. All right, let's go ahead and prep this bread. First things first, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this hamburger style, as we learned in grade school. Just like that, expose the inside. You can see that really airy crust right there. It's gonna be absolutely delicious. And then I'm gonna do the same thing here, all the way down. Try to keep it pretty even on both sides. I really wanna make sure I don't have too thin of a bottom, especially, okay? So you can see right here, nice and thick down here, okay? Because that's gonna be holding the aioli, the olive oil, the counter onions, all of these things, okay? So we want a nice hefty bottom on here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and start to prep this with some butter. It's a little cold outside, so my butter got firm on me, guys. Bear with me. And then we'll also hit these with some olive oil as well, just to give us a little bit of heat conductor so it toasts nicely. Alrighty. Go ahead and hit these with a little bit of olive oil drizzle here, and then we're gonna set them aside while we grill our steaks. So you can see, just a light coating here, guys. Look, we're gonna let that kind of soak into the crumb on the bread, and that will help us get a nice little toast and some grill lines on these babies. I'm gonna set these aside while we get ready for our steaks. All right, guys, our coals are breaking down behind us here. I'm gonna go ahead and move these over underneath the grill grates, get them nice and toasty. Again, when we talk about searing steaks, you may have heard me speak about it on the Steak Florentine video. We want to have nice developed coals. I really want to avoid having a really big flame underneath that steak, especially on a fattier cut like a ribeye, because all those juices and grease are going to drip down and have big potential to flare up and really hinder the crust that I'm trying to get. Again, I'm trying to get a Maillard reaction on the crust. I don't want to burn it. There we go. We'll scrape those once they get nice and hot. Okay, in the meantime, while that's getting ready to rock, let's talk about the wine today. This is an offering, it's a French wine from Chateau Loaf, it's called. This is actually a Malbec, all right? Most time when people think of a Malbec and where it's from, first thing that comes to mind is Argentina, most likely, at least in South America somewhere, and that's okay. Amazing Malbecs down there as well, but a fun fact about Malbec, it is supposedly originally from France. All right, poured it in my glass here, got some air in it. I opened this about 2 hours ago because it is a young wine. Also, fun fact about this wine, if you can find it, this is like an $18 bottle of wine. For that price, I figured, you know what the heck, let's try it out, okay? Poured it into my wine savant here, get some air into it. Very important in young wines, especially ones that have potential to have a lot of tannins in them. The nose is kind of gamey. I would almost mistake this as a Syrah, to be honest with you, if someone blind tasted me. Really like the nose. It does have that Malbec, you know, kind of violet hue. It's kind of getting dark out here, so it's hard to see. But yeah, very on brand. The thing I like about Malbecs, especially French Malbecs, is that they always seem to have this kind of freshness to them that I very much enjoy. I'm really liking this. Red fruit, not super complex, but you know, for 18 bucks, shoot man, this is hard to beat, honestly. All right guys, it's time to grill some bread here. Remember, we buttered, olive oiled. I'm gonna throw it on right here. Got our two other smaller pieces. Boom, boom. Gonna get a little smoke as some of that butter and olive oil drips off. That's okay. Just gonna get a little toast and a little char on this bread. We'll check it periodically here. Oh yeah, we're looking good. Oh yeah. Almost there, almost there. Look at that. That butter and oil doing its job on there. If you haven't tried grilled bread before, guys, some butter, some oil, I'm telling you, it's absolutely killer. All right, look at that. Nice toasting going on. Oh yeah, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and start to put these aside. Yep, there we go. All right, guys, our coal bed is piping hot right now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab these New Zealand Wagyu ribeyes. Look at these beautiful bad boys. Oh yeah. Get them on there. Press them down, get some good surface contact with those grill grates so we get a nice sear. Anytime you're cooking really marbled meat over a live fire or wood-fired coals like this, be aware of flare-ups, okay? If they happen, they happen. It's all good. I'll show you a technique here. If it does happen, we're gonna take our shovel or whatever kind of tool you have, and all that we're gonna do is wherever that flare up is at, we're just gonna move those coals around, okay? And almost just try and push the coals over the top of the flame and kind of put it out. I'm gonna give these about 3 minutes before I flip. Then I'll do another 2 to 3 minutes. We'll assess where they are at, how our sear looks. I do want to leave these a little bit more on the rare side, okay? Because we're gonna slice them up very thinly when we put them on the sandwich. And then we're actually gonna put that bread back on the grill for a minute just to get that cheese to melt. All right, guys, you can see we got a little bit of a flare up here, no problem. As I said, I'm gonna go ahead and just push these coals across. Drag them back, and look at that. Killed that flare up. Might come back and we'll do it again. No worries. All right, guys, it's been about 3.5 minutes now. Let's take a look at these babies. Oh yeah, look at that crust. Absolutely beautiful Maillard reaction. That deep mahogany brown sizzling. It's time to flip. Oh yeah. That absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Keep in mind, we just flipped these really fatty, marbled, juicy steaks, right? What happens? We lose a little grease out of there, a little fat juice out of there. No problemo. Don't freak out. Handle it like a true pit boss. Bada bing, bada boom. All right, I'm gonna give those another about 2.5 to 3 minutes now. Let those rock. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them off. We'll rest them for a bit. And then while we're resting, we will prep our bread with all of the accoutrements to build our sandwich. Rock and roll. All right, guys, I have my sandwich bottoms right here. Let's go ahead and get this prepped. Got my garlic confit aioli here. Boom, boom. I'm gonna do this on the bottom side only. It's very rich. You don't have to get too crazy. All right, next is our Calabrian chili paste. Remember, a little bit of this goes a very, very long way. Next, we're gonna go with our counter onion San Marzano mix, okay? I like to do this on the bottom. I find that if you know, when you put all these accoutrements on the top, you're biting into it, it seems to just want to kind of slide everywhere and fall apart. Grab some of our tomatoes out of there. This stuff just packs a punch in regards to flavor. You can let it marinate in that mixture that I talked about for about, I mean, really, you can do it overnight. This was for about 3-4 hours. And I like doing it for at least 3 or 4 hours because it kind of softens that raw onion taste. It's kind of like the same thing when people soak onions. Normally on the rib cap, I would remove it like this and cut it into larger chunks. Doing it as a sandwich, I'm just gonna go ahead and slice just like this. Kind of on a bias. Thinner slices, you can see. Oh, just came out absolutely beautiful. I am gonna steal this one. I got Brix down here hanging out. He's gonna have this little fat piece. Here, Bubba. Wow. Don't mind if I do. Thank you, New Zealand, for your fine beef work. There we go. Push that aside. Oh yeah. This stuff is just so freaking tender, guys. Honestly, I know the marbling doesn't look as extreme and look as cool as, you know, the A5 Wagyu and all those types of things. But man, I'll be honest, guys, I've had it all in regards to, you know, I've had A5, I've had this stuff, I've had various different Wagyu, you know, the Heart brand stuff in Texas, which is also a great product. But I'm going to tell you, bang for buck for the quality that you get, this New Zealand Wagyu, man, it's hard to beat. It's really hard to beat. It's about, generally speaking, you know, everybody charges different prices, but generally speaking, I'd say it's probably about 20% less or 25% less even than real Japanese Wagyu. So again, for the price point and the flavor that you're getting, and I wish you could taste this through the screen here. Okay. Now, bring our bottoms back, all right? Now, I'm just going to kind of feather this out. Oops. I'm just going to kind of feather this out over the sandwich here. Lay it out. You can overlap a little bit. Just like this. Doesn't really matter which side is up or down, okay? Just kind of feather it around. This stuff is just absolutely so tender. I need some more. Hey, Brixie. Good catch. Yep, I'm just building this just like this. Oh, fantastico, fantastico. That acidity in the counter onions is going to play so nicely, I think, with this really thick, rich steak. Oop, that's a little too much fat on that one. I would like it. Some others, maybe not so much. There we go. Look at that. And then I'm going to grab a little... Alrighty. There's that. Listen to that crunch. There's that. All right, we're going to throw this back on the grill. Try and keep it together as best we can. All right, guys, we're just going to slowly roast this sandwich over our coals here. I can see my cheese melting back there. Oh, looking great. I'm not going to let it go for too long. Just trying to get it nice and hot and melt that cheese some, okay? All right, guys, just pulled these babies off the grill. They're nice and toasty. Let's get a look at this cross cut here. Oh, yeah. This is a sandwich fit for kings. Look at that. Oh, meat is still beautiful. Oh, man. This is going to pack a punch. Here I go. Pray for me. Oh, man. New Zealand Wagyu Ribeye. Rustic style sandwich on the asado. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, yeah. I'm going in. Wow. Okay. The acidity from the counter onions with the fatty steak is like so effing perfect. This is really good. You guys have to make this. The bread is just soft enough. I'm outside. It's kind of misting. Maybe that helped it not cut the roof of my mouth too much, but holy crap. That is really good. The garlic confit aioli, I'm actually shocked at how much that garlic comes through in a good way. It's not bitter or sharp. Man, really good. And with the French Malbec, man, doesn't get any better than this. We're going to go inside so you can get a closer look at this Bad Johnson. Let's go. Oh, this is a man sandwich, guys. That steak still nice and medium rare. The green's on there because my wife told me I had to. It looks pretty, though. Oh, man.